All right, welcome everyone to the latest Tech Talk Thursday with your Miami and our world trainers, including myself, Tyson Haynes, Christy Denise, as well as Connie Nieto. Our goal with this class is to give you guys latest and greatest insight when it comes to brand new services that we recently launched, as well as doing a little bit of a deep dive when it comes to services that you use every day, including new products inside each system. All right, guys. So what we want to go ahead and cover first is a service that we recently launched inside of your gateway that is located here in the very top right corner, specifically Retro Rate. All right. When you access Retro Rate inside of your platform, what this is going to allow you to do as an agent is become a loan expert on assumption loans. Okay. Now, what I want to go ahead and give you guys just real quick is a presentation that is loaded inside of our cheat sheet. So you guys have access to that real quick. Just put a link in the chat. So what this service allows us to potentially do is, let me go ahead and bring that back over real quick. This allows us to potentially find loans that we can use towards the assumption opportunity. What does be considered towards mortgage loans for assumptions does include FHA loans, VA loans, as well as wholly veteran loans. All right, when you go directly inside of the retro rate system and you're looking directly at each individual property, it's going to give you the asking price of the seller and also a retro price built in that could be a combination of the remaining loan balance, including also the equity established on that property. And if your buyers potentially wanting to submit an offer, what you want to do is have the buyer's agent contact the listing agent. The seller does have to want to move forward with creating that assumption loan. The seller needs to reach out directly to the servicer of the loan in order for that to be able to move forward when it comes to assumption loans. Beautiful service when it comes to working directly with your potential buyers, not to mention also your investors. All right. Inside of this cheat sheet, there's also a video that I just put in the chat that will give us amazing insights and opportunities, specifically also for a listing agent to feature that property. And also, if the homeowner allows it, have the ability to market that loan in and of itself. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is open
Hello,
up
Andy
this
at
video.
Retrorate, and I'm excited to show off one of
Again, we're going to go ahead and open up this video so we have all of that amazing insight from the listing agent's perspective.
Hello, Andy at Retrorate, and I'm excited to show off one of our newest features, and that is the listings dashboard. Now, I've shown you previously the search functionality. I've shown you favorites. I've shown you safe searches. These are all accessible from the left side pane here that expands and contracts. But if you click dashboard, this is going to take you to the listings dashboard. And what we're doing is we're looking into the MLS. We're looking at all of your active listings. We're surfacing insights that will help you better market these listings. Because again, if you have an assumable listing, you're sitting on absolute gold mine. This is the way that you can best draw attention to your listing in a world of picky buyers, low inventory, and more. So the first thing you're going to notice is we're going to give you all up view. In this case, we've got 2 VA listings, 11 FHA listings with an average assumable rate of 4.49%. Pretty good in a world of like 6.3, which is what it is at the recording this morning. The average P&I that's saved across all of your listings is $1,200. That's huge. Which buyer would not want that? And the total P&I savings per month is $12,149, or almost $4 million in total P&I lifetime savings over all of the listings that I have here on my dashboard. That's a tremendous amount. When you start to put it in true dollars and cents of how much you can save the people that you are serving in the communities that you work, it's really tremendous. But getting ahead of myself here, what we've done is we've organized all of the listings that you have into a single scrollable list. And every listing has three components. First and foremost is a checklist. This checklist really shows you the different things that you can do to actually promote your listing. Now, in a previous video, I talked about promoted and retro rate verified. I'm going to go dive into that again here, but we're going to go ahead and give you a promoted badge if you simply talk about your assumable loan in the MLS. Drop the assumable loan information into the public remarks, mark it as assumable yes, no, maybe put in some detail into the private remarks. And again, we're going to give you that promoted badge. If you want to take it a step further, you can actually go and verify your listing. That's the second tab. And what we'll do as a service is RetroRate will call the servicer with you on the line. We'll make sure that we have all the verified rates, we have the verified term, we have all the verified buyer packet requirements so that you're ready to go once you have an offer in hand from a buyer who's looking to assume. And of course, if you are promoted or you're verified, we're going to give you featured branding. We're going to give you preferred placement on the list. We're going to sort you to the top or the very, very top. We're going to extra promote you through emails to other agents that are looking in your area as well. And then finally, we also have a promote your listing tab as well. This is kind of an interesting new addition. What it allows us to do and what it allows you to do is to actually promote your assumable listing directly on social networks or directly in your own email campaigns. Everyone is defaulted to a Facebook link, but I could create a link that could be used anywhere else, like maybe Twitter. Go ahead and create that link. And if I copy that link, then I can paste that link into, say, a Twitter campaign, and it's going to give me views, click counts on a per social media network basis. So what this does is this allows you to sort of track the performance of this particular assumable campaign across all the areas that you're already advertising. And of course, if you do verify your listing, we're going to go ahead and show you what this looks like here through a little preview. You're going to get that extra verification badge directly within RetroRate. It's worth noting too that if you begin to promote your listing by saying things such as, a rare VA assumable loan at 3.75%, that information is syndicated out into the MLS. It's syndicated out onto other broker websites, and other agents are going to see it. So we give you the promoted badge for free just because we feel like that's the right thing to do. Helps your clients, helps them potentially realize that $4 million in total P&I lifetime savings. It's a good thing that you're able to pull off for people. If you have any questions at all about your RetroRate dashboard, you can send us an email at support@retrorate.com. My name is Andy. I'll probably get back to you personally ASAP because we're here to help at a moment's notice. Hope you're having a good day. Talk to you soon.
All right. Perfect, perfect. Guys, again, make sure to jump directly inside of your dashboard to take advantage of RetroRate. And I also want to make sure I mention that inside of the MLS, if you ever want to find potentially assumption loans, you can, of course, go directly inside of the for sale section, such as the single family condo section. And then towards the very bottom, you can add the additional field terms considered. And this is a great way to find different options, including assumptions and a little bit further down, wrap loans as well. All right, next, what I want to make sure you guys know is RPR has added more AI options when it comes to their market trends reports. Okay, so if you are an agent that wants to create more social media engagement in order to market yourself on Instagram, Facebook as well, make sure that you go here inside of the research section of the RPR platform and then jump right into the residential market trends. Once you're there, you have the ability to look up all of your service areas, the areas that you market inside of, including where you live, and not to mention also where you have an office. As you can see, you can put cities that you operate inside of, zip codes, all the way down to individual townhomes and single family home communities. So just real quick, what I'm going to go ahead and do is load up a zip code. And if you are great at designing Canva templates, as an example, you have the ability to grab verbiage that you can supply directly into that social media post using the market trends. Okay, so over here on the right, there is the AI script writer. And the hidden gems that I want to cover with you guys today is located under the market trends article section. Okay, so if you want to create maybe a beautiful infographic, letting everyone know how your local market is performing, and also take an easy copy paste, throw into maybe a template that you're using in Photoshop, Adobe Premiere, Canva. We have the ability to use the tone specifically for social media, such as conversational, as well as encouraging as well. And what I'm about to show you is also great for email blasts. So once we go here to market trends, we can select our audience, for example, for social media purposes. We can jump directly into the buyer and sellers option. And then down here where you see article style, there is a very, very long list of easy options. And I want to stress this one more time, easy options to copy, paste, plug a lot of this amazing information into infographics, such as using Canva. One of my personal favorites is the Q&A interview. A little bit further down, the micro FAQ is really good. And then also, so you look like a expert in your local market, my other favorite is going to be the myth versus facts as well. Okay, when you are ready, you click on generate content. This is going to allow you to, again, within your local market, look like the expert. And also, when you're working with your customers, you're going to be able to answer questions ahead of time if they have any issues, specifically maybe putting their property on the market or potentially submitting an offer. So, for example, for the zip code of 33032, we now know a lot about this market, including potential myths. So, it's the myth, for example, for this zip code is inventory is very low. The actual fact for the Homestead area is there's 7.66 months of supply of inventory, indicating a balanced market. What this means, buyers and sellers can expect a healthy selection of properties, making it a crucial to coordinate purchases and sell time effectively. Again, it's giving us both the information for the seller's standpoint and also from the buyer's standpoint. That is because we selected that option right up here. Again, this is an easy copy paste that we can put directly inside of a Canva post where we can automatically schedule those, for example, in advance. We have another infographic that we can create for that area, including a myth. Home prices are decreasing. The actual fact, the median sold price in Homestead is 530,000, which is currently up 18% from the previous month. What this means specifically for sellers can capitalize on rising prices, but buyers should act quickly to avoid further increases. Again, guys, that is the option here using the conversational option, market trends article. And we've only took a little bit of the information that we get from the article style section, looking at myths versus facts. There's other stuff in here, including a beautiful explainer, what, why not, and what option that we can supply directly into those amazing social media posts. All right, now here's an example. What's happening? We have the inventory specifically for the Homestead zip code of 33032 right here, letting us know the area's gone up by this month by 7%. The median days on market. All of this is great information we could put into social media posts. With that said, if you're an agent maybe new to Canva, for example, want to let you know that inside of the RPR system, specifically here under the Learn section, they do have Canva templates that are available that you can use in order to take the text that we just looked at, put that directly into your social media, located right here, where we can add our photo, contact information so that we can start creating those amazing engagement information on our business pages. All right, guys, another thing to let you know inside of RPR is whenever you're looking directly at a property, okay, you have the ability, whenever you're analyzing a listed property, you can look at the photos from the current listing agent. Okay, but if we want to look at the past times a property has been listed, there is a historical button that will allow us to go back in time to view a property each time it was listed inside of the MLS. Why is that important? This will allow us to potentially know when the homeowner, I should say, made improvements on the property. So I'm looking at this specific unit when it was listed back in 2021. Let's jump forward to 2026 just to see if there's been any improvements. That kitchen does look like it's been repainted, as we can see. It's a great way to know exactly when some of those improvements have been made using that beautiful little historical button. If we ever want to do maybe a virtual tour from the comfort of our office or from our home, we can also view the property as well from the outside using the street map view. We also have an aerial view using the satellite. And if the agent supplied a virtual tour of that property, we have the ability to go right there into the virtual tour that the agent added. For example, this one's being provided directly from Property Panorama. Another thing that I want to highlight real quick when it comes to RPR is their RVM. The RVM is the realtor valuation module, which is pretty accurate, letting us know the value range of the property that we're looking at. So for example, the one that I have pulled up right now, it's letting us know that this property is valued somewhere between 505 up to 558,000, as we can see. And the RVM, it's actually a little bit more accurate than an AVM because RVM is taking into consideration current active listings, units under contract, and anything that has been sold, both from the county's perspective as well as what's been recently closed out inside of the MLS. As to where a AVM primarily focuses on just sold data in that area. Okay, when it has a 5-star rating right there, it means that RPR is 90% sure that that is the asking price for that property, guys. Please, please take advantage of all these amazing benefits inside of RPR, guys. And another thing to mention, so that you're first to know if there's additional up and coming improvements within the system, go right up here inside of your profile, and you can get an email each and every time a brand new product and service is launched inside of their platform. You just click that button and you're telling the system, subscribe me. Okay. Last thing that I want to discuss with you guys is another tax roll program that we offer, but by the name of Realist, located here inside of your dashboard. What I love about Realist, just like Imapp, is we can pull all properties inside of the state of Florida as long as each county has that property's information available. Now, Realist's strong point, specifically, whenever you pull up a property, for example, inside of Matrix, let me go ahead and just pull up a property real quick. Whenever you're looking at a property inside of the MLS, there is this little money sign at the very top. What I like about Realist is the reports that we immediately get. Okay, these reports, they're available for properties that are on the market as well as off of the market, meaning you can pull up your property to gain insight as well. The biggest takeaway, one of my personal favorites, is the market trends report. The reason why I say that is this report can effectively compare on-market sales versus off-market sales, such as for sale by owner sales in specific. So if you're an agent that does a lot of door knocking, you reach out directly to homeowners that are trying to sell their properties by themselves, this report can show on market, meaning agents that successfully helped homeowners sell their properties versus homeowners that decided to sell it by themselves. And what this report does is it hyper focuses on that zip code. It will give us the total amount of sales that occurred that month. It will also give us an average sale price for all properties that have closed, meaning all tax sales. It will give us all of the active inventory for that local market, including for sale and for rent units. It will give us the days on market as well. So this is a very quick moving market. Properties are on the market for less than 2 months, as we can see at 51 days on average. We have the average price per square foot for that zip code. And not to mention a little bit further over, we have the ratio of how closely homeowners are getting to their asking price. Okay, this is where it gets fun. The average sale price right down here, this will allow us to compare on-market sales versus off-market sales. Okay, so again, MLS means it was listed, average sale price here. We have the data available for June. Average sale price for this zip code was 763,367 versus tax sales, including for sale by owners, a little bit less, as we can see. This one's for May at 754,700. Okay, if you want to use this report in order to maybe convert for sale by owners to allow you to list their properties, technically what you have to do is generate these reports where the MLS option is selected for on-market data. You would come over here in the top, click on print. That's going to allow you to download this report as a PDF. But then you would want to switch these dials to tax. That's going to allow you to also pick up those for sale by owners so that you can include that directly within your marketing. All right, so that's, again, this is available for any residential property on or off of the market located over here on the left. Okay, if you're ever working with a buyer, okay, and maybe they're coming from out of state and they want to know the nearby neighbors before they move. Right over here where you see neighbors, this will allow you to create a report letting your potential buyer know their neighbors' information, including when they originally purchased the properties, as well as their established tax amounts. Again, all of the information coming directly from the county appraiser. But what I would ask that you guys do in order for the system to potentially provide that potential buyer with their nearby surrounding neighbors is you want to come up here in the top right where you see your initial. You want to program this report under the settings button, and this is covered in our realist classes. You want to right size the report so that it shows those nearby neighbors. Otherwise, it might show other neighbors maybe across the street or farther away. You would come here to optimize the report. Number of neighbors, something like 5 sounds very good. Distance from subject property, maybe a quarter mile. Geography, same subdivision. That way, when you generate that neighborhood report, you will be able to show those immediate neighbors from there. Okay, now that is specifically the neighbor report. There's also a neighborhood profile report as well, located right over here on the left. Okay, this neighborhood profile report, what this does is this will let that potential buyer know of school choices in the area, nearby amenities, financial institutions, and also demographics based on the neighborhood that they're moving into. Okay. Now, in order to provide your buyer with as much information on that local area, you want to once again come over here in the top right. You can program the report under the settings button, and you can pick and choose once the report generates the business categories located here, including automotive shops, banks, health institutions, hospitals, schools, and they got a lot of school options, including preschools, middle schools, combined schools, elementary, special education, vocational as well. And not to mention a little bit further up, we can also tell the system how far out from the property that the buyer's interested in, how far out we want to find these locations. So for example, I like to use 4 miles, but you can go out a full 10 miles from that subject property, and you can also add additional categories as well, including the amount of amenities that shows up in each section. I find 15 to be very good, but if you want to add more, for example, 25 different school options, you do have that option to maximize the system at 25 as well. All right, just checking chat real quick to see if we have any questions. Can I do the same for commercial properties? I'm not sure what service that's for. If you could just let me know real quick on Angela, and then Carla, can we draw a map and get this report for the area? Inside of the Realist platform, when you're drawing, you're picking up properties in all of the homeowners information. So the reports that I'm showing right now are based on the zip code in particular, not where we can jump into the map and then just jump into a neighborhood. RPR, though, where we were earlier, does allow us to pull reports all the way down to individual communities and also individual condos as well. So I'll just show that real quick so you guys can see that. Typically, that's located here under research, specifically using their neighborhood search as well. Okay, guys. All right, that is it for my presentation, guys. I do want to thank you so much for allowing me to give you these amazing updates. We have the next trainer coming up, who is fantastic. Christy, yes, ma'am, if you would be so kind to take it away.
Thank you so much, Tyson. That was great info. A pleasure to be with you guys this morning. I have for you three tech programs that I want to share with you. We'll be talking about statistics with SunStats. We will be searching out of area with MLS Advantage, and then we'll wrap with some prospecting with Imapp. So to get started from miamirealtor.com, I'm going to scroll down to the middle of the page. Clicking on the Miami Gateway, the system will prompt us putting in our username and password will give us access to all of our resource panels. Now, all three programs I mentioned, MLS Advantage, SunStats, and Imapp, are going to be available through your gateway. We're going to get started with some statistics. SunStats is one of these programs that is available to you through Florida Realtor. Florida Realtor is an additional benefit package that you do receive. It's an additional membership. You are a member of Miami Realtors in our world. As your local association, you are a member of Florida Realtors and you're on a state level, and you're also a member of NAR on a national level. Now, with Florida Realtors, you get two of the programs that I'll be talking about today, which is MLS Advantage and SunStats. If you have not visited Florida Realtors in a bit, I do suggest that you go ahead and click through. You do also have access to this direct page through your resource panel. Now, if you scroll up to the top, if you were to log into your floridarealtor.org program, they have some new benefits here. So they're welcoming us to a new Florida Realtor, my membership, and they're prompting us to update our profiles. So I do recommend that you jump in here if you haven't in a little bit. Now, part of all of our benefits does include form simplicity, which Connie will cover with you briefly, and we also have a tech helpline that can assist you. Let's go ahead and jump into one of those programs. We're going to go into SunStats. This is going to allow us to grab and create amazing statistics from Florida Realtors. Your association, we do highlight and use the statistics that are amazing for us as real estate professionals through Florida Realtors. So to get started, we want to be able to brand everything within our system. So you want to add in and create your profile. You can do that on the top right-hand corner. You'll be able to find your settings, a help center, and a nice welcome with our name on the top. We're going to tap on settings. Once you tap on settings, we want to make sure to add in the cities of interest. I currently have a few that are available here, but you can search and create statistics all throughout Florida. So if you're interested in areas outside of your service area, our areas Miami-Dade, Broward County, Martin, St. Lucie, Palm Beach. If you want to search outside of that area, by all means, it's going to be available here. But for this example, I'll pop in a few cities. I'm going to go ahead and add in Doral. I'll go ahead and pop in here Miami. You can either use the MSA, the county, or on a city level. So I'm going to go ahead, pick Miami as one of our cities. I'll put in some Broward areas. So I'm going to put in Pembroke Pines, for example, and then I'm going to roll on down, and I want to make sure that I'm able to brand the program. We want to create something like what you see on screen here. To do so, you want to add in your first and last name. You then want to plug in your organization name. That's going to be the name of your office, and then pop in your office address. Once we're done with that, you're going to add in your cell phone number, add in your email, and then upload both your headshot as well as your logo. Once we've uploaded all of our information, you're going to click on Save Settings, and then you'll be able to preview what we've created. We will be able to view, okay, our geographic areas are in place, and we'll have a preview of our branding. This is key to do first because we'll be creating infographics of the statistics that we pull so we can share it on social media. Let me check our chat and see that. Okay, we're doing great. Tyson is handling all of our questions. Thank you, Tyson. Once we have that in place, let's scroll on up and let's start creating some statistics. To do so, we're going to move from our settings to the middle of the page where we can find Infographic Creator. We're going to tap here and start to create. All of our options are going to be on the left-hand side of the page, or we can pick one of our designated geographic areas that we put in on our cities. Click on the drop-down arrow and your cities that you put up into your preferences are going to appear. Doral, Miami, there's Pembroke Pines, but I'm not married to these. You can also roll down and view other areas. You can also type in the search, and the system will be flexible to give you both the cities or the zip codes of interest. But to get started, I'll go ahead and I'll pick one of the cities of interest. I'm going to pick Pembroke Pines in this case, and we can see that it's starting to map for us. We're going to roll on down and we have options regarding our layout. You can either choose a landscape option, which the examples on the right-hand side. I think this looks really nice if we're posting on LinkedIn, if we are posting on Facebook. This looks really nice in a presentation if you wanted to add it in. And then you have your square option. So I'm going to tap on square and that will format it really nicely for Instagram. So you pick your preference. As I move on down, you'll also have a template option. Do you want to highlight just one property type, meaning I just want houses? Or do I want to select dual properties? So for example, I want to do houses and condos at the same time. So you pick your preference. In this example, let's go ahead and select one property type because I went with square. And then I'm going to roll down and say, well, which property type would you like? Would you like to combine all property types, single family, townhomes, or manufactured homes? In this example, I'm going to change to townhome and condos, and then we're able to pick and customize the statistic metrics. If you click on the drop down arrow, it'll give you a few options: active inventory, average sales price, cash sales as a percentage. I have selected closed sales. I have selected median sales price. So I'm sharing with the public how many properties are closing, what's the price in the area, what does the inventory look like. I have dollar volume here. I may want to click and change this to median time to contract. So how long is it taking for our properties to go under contract? I may want to change metric 5 to new pending sales and then finish metric 6 with month supply of inventory. And then how do you want to break that down? Do you want it by month, year to date, quarterly, or annually? And then you have two options in the bottom. Do you want to include your branding, which we created in our settings, or would you like it no branding? You also have additional advanced options if you want a specific price tier, if you are looking for drilling in just a little bit more. So, for example, I just want the traditional sales. When they give me the statistics, I don't want to include foreclosure or short sales, but also vice versa. Maybe I just want the foreclosure information or just the short sale information. I'm going to apply my changes, give the system a moment, and all of my details are going to be available on the right. So this is very nice, very easy for our customers to review, and I can do this on a monthly basis if I'd like. I have Pembroke Pines as the city. I'm covering townhomes and condos, only traditional sales, and we're looking at the number of closed sales for June. And this has dropped 10% from a year ago. We're at 71. Median sales price has also dropped 23% for our condos and townhomes. We're currently at 236. Active inventory is down 12% year over year, but we still sit at 588 listings. Median time to contract, you're looking at 74 days. So our buyers are getting a lot of great info here. They have a longer amount of time to make a selection. Inventory has dropped, but so has price. We have new pending sales. So for our home sellers, great information. Properties are selling and inventory is at 8.1 months. So there is some competition in the Pembroke Pines area for our sellers. If I wanted to share this, this is already set with my image, my contact information, and my logo. On the top right-hand corner, I have a few different ways that I can share this information. I can either post it directly to my Facebook, to X, to LinkedIn. I can send it via email. If I'd like, I can download it, or I can print this for a presentation. If you want to change this up on the left-hand side, you do have that ability. So let's say I want to do landscape and I want to do dual properties. Roll down to the bottom, apply your changes, and now you have another view that you may like. We have a combination of the single family homes with its statistics as well as the townhome and condo. Now keep in mind, because we're doing both single family and townhome, we do have three stats for each, but we have our closed sales, median sales price, and active inventory, which is also editable. I'm going to download on the right hand side. That's going to give me my image. Let me just make sure that you can see what I can see. That's available to download and available for me to go ahead and post onto my social media. All right, now that we are familiar with our infographic creator, let's move to the left where we can find our chart builder. And let me check the chat. Ooh, some great insight from Connie in the chat. Thank you so much. Inside of the chart builder, this is the ability for us to apply and create charts of our liking. Now, all of your options again are going to be on the left-hand side for the option to apply. You can pick your specific geographic area. So for example, let's say I want the city of Miami. And once I selected the city of Miami, I'm going to go ahead and roll on down and pick the metrics of interest. And I'm interested in average sales price for single family homes. I want the report monthly and I can create my own date range. So here I have from June 2024 through June 2026. If you'd like to change that, you can. So let's say we're interested in January to June. And then you can apply your changes. Scroll up to the top, give the system a moment to upload, and you'll have the average sales prices for single family homes on all price tiers for all sales types. And you have the ability to hover over each one of the points within the graph, and it will tell you the month with the average sales price month over month for 2026. And this is specifically in Miami. So if you wanted to download this, there's a few ways that you can. Some people can cook an egg on Excel. So you can download this on the bottom right-hand corner. You can download it either as a CSV or Excel. You have the numbers pooled at the bottom, and it does give you the percentage of change. Towards the top, you also have the ability to download this particular graph. If you want it with the branding, then you're going to download with branding on the right. I'll go ahead and download that so you can see it. And we have both options available. Inside of our dashboard, will give us access to our preferred cities that we set up inside of our settings that you can change at any time just to keep up with the statistics in the area. Closed sales, cash sales, median sales price of that particular city of interest. If you want to change it, you have the change button in the middle of that page. So this is wonderful, available to all. Take advantage. The statistics look wonderful on our social media pages and easy peasy to use. We do have classes where we discuss SunStats. So if you'd like to join us for a statistics class, we'd love to have you. Moving into our next program, that's also a Florida Realtor benefit, that's going to be MLS Advantage. So MLS Advantage will give you access to viewing property outside of your service area. So as a licensed real estate agent with Florida, you have access to multiple counties within Florida. And MLS Advantage is a great way for you to search outside of Miami-Dade, Broward County, Martin, St. Lucie, and Palm Beach. You can decide to search either by the search fields where you can input either address, zip code, distance, so you can search by radius, or you can plug in county or city or zip code. It gives you access to property types, the statuses, business types if you're interested in commercial, and then you can pop in there your price ranges, your bedrooms, your baths, size, and then you can search. You do have more filters on the bottom right. So you can search by field. Your other option is if you are a map user, you can move over into the map section. Let's open that up one more time. If you're a map user, you can search by map. If you'd like, you can search directly by drawing, circle, rectangle, polygon. You do have your searches at the bottom. And if you want that visual for your map, that's available at the bottom. So you get all of Florida. Moving over into the hot sheet search, if you are interested in updates regarding a particular section, a particular city, or marketplace, you can go ahead and create those hot sheets on the hot sheet tab, and then you have your saved searches that are available. I do want to take you through the process of being able to search for a customer, saving that search for that customer, and then being able to create a report for them, as well as creating an auto email. So to do that, I'm going to move back into my field search and take you through best practices. So up at the top, you have that blue floating bar. I would start with popping in my customer first. I would move into customers, tap here, and then add my customer. I can add them by clicking on add new customer on the right-hand side and then filling out the information. So let's say we're going to send some property to Connie. We're going to add in first name, last name. We can pop in a cell phone number. I'm going to just put in here her email address. There's additional fields that we can add to keep up with our contacts, like address, the preferred contact method. We have their languages preferred, when they plan to either buy or sell. And then if you have any notes for them, you can put that in. When's the best time to contact them? What is their planned activity? So we've got a lot of fields to keep up with our contacts. Clicking on save at the bottom. So our customer, she is in place. If I want to edit any of the information, I can tap on edit or delete. Let's find some property for her. I'm going to move over into my search now, and we're going to do a quick search. I can either search by MLS ID or I can search by radius. Let's say I'm going to do city, and she's interested in the area of Naples. And from there, I'm going to roll on down. She's interested in single family. She's interested in an active property. And let's say her minimum price point is going to be 1,500,000 is her minimum. And then she would like at least 4 bedrooms and at least 3 bathrooms. And we're going to click on search. From here, we already have properties that are going to become available for us to preview. We can either preview them by clicking on the image. We can click to add reports, view details, so that we're able to search and send properties to Connie. Now, when I click on search, it's automatically pulling properties for me. I want to show you a better way to search for your customer before we do what's natural to us, which is to click on search. I'm going to go back into my search. We came on down and we were looking in Naples for Connie. We looked at her price point, which was up into the minimum of 1,500,000. Let's do a maximum of 2, and then we're going to add in those bedrooms and baths again. Now, instead of just adding search, my recommendation is come over to the top and name this search. Go ahead and call it, let's say Connie moves to Naples. And then save and search up here. So then everything that I am going to be selecting for her will become available for me as a saved search at the end. I'm going to move through here. I have a few properties for her. And if I'd like to add them to her report, I can simply click on add to report. So let's say I think she'll really like this one. She's really going to like that one, a pool, and this one looks beautiful. So once I've added those details, another option for you, of course, is to view all details, is I want to send them over to her. So everything that I've added to the report is going to be available on report queue. So I can tap on the report queue, which is on the top right-hand corner, and I can go back and edit at any time. I can either remove or create the report. So I'm going to tap on create report and then pick the type of report that I'd like. You have two. You have customer reports, that's going to go to her, or we have our own professional reports, which are licensee reports. You have a few different options. For a very basic report, you have the customer summary report that's going to include the first picture and basic property information. You've got the customer detailed report that's going to include a picture, basic property information, the description, and then 25 images. So it depends what they want to see. My favorite is actually the customer detailed report plus the large photos and the map. I like to see everything. If you want to preview it, you can view the print report. I'm going to click on it so we can take a peek. And then that's how that looks. It is branded to us because we have it nice and branded. Our contact information, she gets the property photo, the description, all of the features. And then on that second page per property, she gets all of the lovely images with the map for each. So it's nice and detailed. I'm going to close this out. I reviewed it, I liked it, so I'm going to decide on emailing this. So email report, and then I'm going to plug in here her information. We have homes for your consideration, preview the properties and let me know if you have any questions. This is nice and set up for me. And if I wish to send myself a copy, I can, and I can send an email. So we picked some properties for her. We picked our report for her. I want to show you another piece. So I'm going to go back into my search. Within my search, on the right-hand side, you have your saved searches. And you do have the ability, since we saved it, to go ahead and set up an auto email if you don't want to do it manually. So you can click up set up an auto email. The information is already in place. We have our customer. Select our customer name, which was our first step. You can go ahead and enable our email settings. The type of report that I want is going to be the customer detailed report with the large photos and the maps. How frequently do I want to send it? I want to send it daily. And then this will expire and I can pick 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, all the way to 6. We're going to do 3 months to start. Include price changes. This is optional for you. And then at the bottom, we have our messages. So if you want to set this up, mine already says homes for your consideration, preview the properties, let me know if you have any questions. And then if there's no matches, I can either send this or I can just not send an email. So I'm going to select not to send an email. I want to include my email signature. I want to send myself a copy. I can pick that on the left. I'm going to save, and then that auto email has gone out. It is ready to go. Your settings and your information. On the top right, you have your account. You can tap on accounts, and here's where you're going to add in that headshot. Make sure your email's in place, your phone number's in place, and then in your email defaults, if you like what I set up, you can go ahead and create something similar, or any email that you're going to send out of MLS Advantage already has this in place. So my default subject for all of my emails is homes for your consideration. My default message is preview the properties. Let me know if you have any questions. And then I have a default for no matches found. Saving changes. This class is recorded and available for you to rewatch at any time on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/miamitrainers. Connie sent over the details inside of the chat. Feel free to subscribe and rewatch MLS Advantage. You do have on the top training videos that are also created by MLS Advantage that look wonderful. And here's that tech helpline. So if you have any questions that are computer related, another benefit is the tech helpline. You can call them and they can show you how to fix your computer issues. For example, I want to hook up a printer. You can call them and they can help you. All right, that's MLS Advantage. I'm going to wrap with a little bit of prospecting. So I'm going to close out MLS Advantage, go into my resource panels, and then click on Imapp. So Imapp is a wonderful tool. We use it all of the time. It is a prospecting tool. It is a tool that you can use to confirm property information. This is a tool that you can create a CMA on. So if you have not taken an Imapp class, please do. It's a wonderful asset. So asset number one, you do have a tax search, an MLS search, and a foreclosure search. When it comes to data, you get data all throughout of Florida. So you have all of the counties already in place so that you can search. I'm going to do a little prospecting in Miami-Dade County. I'm interested in finding investment properties. So I want to find properties where the owner doesn't live there. It's an investment piece. If the owner doesn't live there, then it's probably rented. And I'd like that property. Maybe the owner hasn't paid their taxes. So it's an investment property. They don't live there. The taxes haven't been paid. I'd love single family homes. And then I can contact them and see if they're interested in services or in my services as a real estate professional, because I can see there's a little financial trouble there. So I'm going to show you how to do that. We want to work on the tax section or the tax search bar. The first step I'm going to do is I'm going to change owner name. So the field under owner name, property address, parcel ID, if I click on that, I get a big list of other options. And this list is the same list that's under property address, that's the same list under parcel ID. So you can swap them out however you'd like. So owner name, I'm going to change it to owner occupied, and I'm going to say no. So I'm looking for properties in Miami-Dade County where the owner is not occupying that property. All the way at the bottom of my search field list, I have property use code. So I'm like going to go to the right, and where it says select options, I want single family homes, but you have all property types here, including commercial. I'm interested in residential single family homes, so I'm choosing 01. So now I have owners are not occupying the property in Miami-Dade and it's single family. When it comes to year built, I'm going to change this one and I'm going to go up a few until I find taxes are delinquent. And I'm going to say, okay, give me all of the properties where the owners have not been able to pay for their taxes in that property. And then I'm going to add another layer and say the owner doesn't live here, but he also doesn't live in the state. So I'm going to go up into the search fields. I'm going to change it into owner is Florida resident, and I'm going to say no. Why would I put this together? Well, you don't live there. You don't live in Florida. It may be more difficult to maintain that property. You haven't paid your taxes, and it's the property type that I'd like to list, which is single family. Now, this is all of Miami-Dade County. You can drill down further. So property zip code, you can input a property zip code. You can also input a property city. And let's say I'm going to do Hialeah. I'll type in the city of interest and then start my search. All right. And when it comes to the city of Hialeah, I have 5 matches that meet this criteria, and I want to be able to touch base with them. So the first thing I'm going to do is review and see if any of these properties are currently listed. They are not. How do I know? There is no green flags associated with any of these properties. So I'm going to choose the rest, and I want to contact them. So I'm going to move to the right, and I'm going to set up a mailer. So I have mail label. I'm going to tap on that. I want the owner address. I'm going to click on next step. I'm going to click on create label at the bottom, and the system will go ahead and populate for me all of the labels of the homeowners and their address so I may contact them. So I have some out of the country and I also have some out of state. So this is another piece that you can do if you're interested in global real estate. I would also take Imapp. So there's a plethora of different ideas and different farming and prospecting ideas that we share with you guys during our Imapp class. So take an Imapp class if you like this type of search. Take farming and prospecting with Remine and Imapp, or you can take working with investors. All three of these, we deep dive into Imapp and talk about all of the different ways that you can search. And with that, thank you so much for having me. I'm going to pass it on to Connie so that she can go over another great few tools that you can use.
Of course, I wasn't ready. I was answering the chat. Hi, everybody. I'm Connie. I get to talk to you about a couple of great things and try to follow up my wonderful colleagues. To get started, of course, they've all told you the magic button is coming in through here and coming into your gateway dashboard. I, of course, want to mention if you haven't learned already, you can favorite. And this is something that someone who's been around for over a decade, we were waiting anxiously to have access to be able to make it look like the way you wanted to. So adding that little star allows you to put your favorite icons up on the top so the tiles would be where you want them to be. And I'm going to start with Remine, which is a modern, comprehensive, intuitive MLS and tax service. When you click into here, it brings you into Remine. Remine's Daily has an area for you to keep a market pulse, update and monitor what's happening in your area so you can personalize these market pulses to your zip codes or now to several zip codes. So that's a great update that they have and you can keep a hold of what's happening, see what's active, under contract, canceled, closed, coming soon, expired, pending, withdrawn, on hold, or status updates in your area, along with the average valuation estimate and absorption rate. You see listing updates, saved searches that you have, you engage with customers, and you have details here in your page, as well as your sunny weather lookout for your area. You do have, of course, like any system, when you come in, you do have to make it yours. And to do that, you come on down and you click through. And on the lower left-hand side, you would click in to the settings area. And let me just peek in the chat 1 second. All right, looks like everything is going great. And you do have here information, and this allows you to put your photo, to personalize the system and how they can communicate with you. You have display preferences so they can contact you, which you would just click to edit and save. And then you can create another social profile and have an aggregator site that's for free. So this social profile, if you want to peek at what I have created, I can copy and paste it over here for you to see. And this is something that you can add into your email signatures and a way that they can engage with you. And you can have your socials and a way for them to link with you. So you simply come in and you take A class, we go over this in a Remine class. We offer these. There are recordings of them available to you on youtube.com/miamitrainers. You can add your logo to personalize. As you could see on mine, we have our logo here, information, your photo, and detail. Coming back over, you can pick the background. You have a welcome message on your pages where you can put in a welcome, and then you can put the links to all of your socials. Again, that was on the left-hand side underneath here in clicking into your settings. Now, one of the magic items in Remine, and we heard prospecting from Christy, and we also heard it from Tyson with Imapp and Realist, is that you have a search area here in Remine. This search area allows you to search for listings like if you were looking in the MLS. So this is a different outlook and view to listings in the MLS, but they have also a magic button to search for properties, which is how you can search for tax items like the tax service. But one of the things that we like to highlight here is that when you do click over to properties, you do have this wonderful set, right, of values that you can check into. And this drop down menu that appears and these filters allow you to see the properties in a different way. So on the very top, you could come and select by address, city, zip code, neighborhood, or school area. So you can come in and pop up, let's say, a zip code. You can select it and choose the map, and it'll map out that area for you. You would see the area, and then you can even come and zoom in closer. And you can look distinctly at an area until you come in and you start to see the parcels. Once you can see the breakdown of the parcels, right? Maybe you want to come and look and see what's happening in that area. Some of you may be new, you may be seasoned, you may be looking into other areas and want to know what to do. Now, there are some additional filters that can be found up here up top. You can click, and one of these allows you to select the off market. Now, notice that you have both residential and commercial items here. So I invite you to take a Remine class or a prospecting and farming class with Remine. These are essentials, right? And the reason I ask you to click on the off market is that you can come in and select just properties that are not currently for sale in the MLS. So you won't be tapping into those properties that are already listed, right? You would just be looking at those that are not. Once you select here, then you can start using these wonderful tools that you have on the side. So if you want to get to know an area, you could simply click on property value and see what the property values are. You can use the filters to drill down and get information and maybe create mailing labels and start to farm and prospect in that area. You do see home equity amounts. One of the new things that they have, well, maybe not so new, is that they used to have the home equity by amount, but now you have by percentage. So maybe you want to come and isolate those that have 50% of equity or more, and you can click to apply. And then you can maybe do that in combination with one of the other filters, like ownership time. So maybe you want to deal with those that have 20 plus years and apply. And you notice how it starts reducing the list, right? And then maybe you can even do it in combination with a sales score. Sales score here is actually a tool that uses AI in combination with consumer data. It accumulates consumer data and it takes statistics from the area and starts to isolate those and categorizes the property into three. Low meaning no interest to sell, medium, potentially in 12 months, and high within the next 6 months. And what this allows you to do is to come in here and to select, let's say you're interested in high and in medium, and apply it. So we went from thousands of properties to maybe these next 14 are something I need to work on. These are the ones that I need to really specifically get to know, try to get info to them because they could potentially be what? A listing. And how can I get this in a place where I could have them on a list, market to them, right, and be able to monitor them? Well, to do that, Remine allows you to have 10,000 properties in carts. And you can come and create a cart here by clicking to select all, adding them to a cart, and naming them. So you would come and put the name of choice. Click to enter and add the 14 properties there. Now, I don't want you to think this is the only thing you could do. There are many things you could do, as you can see here on the drop-down menu. You could look at loan types, original loan amount, last price, distressed deals, cash buyers, land use, building type, and more. We're just giving you a sneak peek, and we do go and deep dive into these in our prospecting and farming class. But this is just to highlight what you could do in the system. Now that I've put them into a cart, how can I use these, Connie? Well, you can come into the cart area here on the left-hand side, and you would have your carted items here. You could come to the very top and rename your cart. You can delete it. You can duplicate it. You could export. So you would select the properties that you're interested in and export them. And this creates an expansive spreadsheet where you can choose which items you want and export them. Name your sheet. And this will take a couple of minutes. The system will notify us, right? You can also come in, and once you have your property selected, you can choose to click on more and print mailing labels. Choose of these mailing labels which ones you would like, and click to print mailing labels, and it will create these mailing labels for you. Some of you may be interested in door knocking or actually visiting. You can actually take this with you, and if you door knock, you can mark them, oh, I did this one, etc. If you are doing door knocking and this was your list, you could simply click on one of the properties and you get a property detail page where you get the information on the property, right? You get an image. Let me close this out. You get the beds, the bath, the square footage, and year built. We would go over this in our Remine class, but notice that there's a print item here. You could actually click here to print, and you could take with yourself a public record one-page report in case you wanted to provide something to your customer or incorporate it into a folder or file or print out, and you could take this with you. Maybe add your business card or another item to it, but you could take this with you and have something to present, giving them some vital information on the area and details. You could also come in here and not only do the print mail outs and get information on each of the properties, but they do have the potential to click on send mailers, and they offer you not one, but two opportunities to create postcards, yellows, pull apart letters, or a handwritten personal card available to you. So two opportunities to send mailers. And then the spreadsheet I had mentioned to you, I'm going to go ahead and download it. And if some of you that love Excel, let me see if I can show this to you. Let me share. It creates a spreadsheet like this that you have the opportunity to come in and of course expand and view. And it does give you, give me 1 second here. Let me make it so this is all legible. And I want you to see that you'd have some email addresses, phone numbers, and they do mark the do not call ones. Any of you find this interesting? And then you also have second owner and details. And remember, I just took 14, and there's associated people. So again, this is from a prospecting and farming class. We do have some recordings and we do provide these. And I wanted to remind you that you do have the power to request classes. So if you don't see any of the latest and greatest that we've reminded you of, like the market stats class that Christy mentioned, we've mentioned product classes that you can request, or if you're interested in taking any one of these courses and you don't see them, there is a way for you to request them. So not only can you see these glimpses that we're giving you here, you do have the power to come in and come into your homepage and under education, click on the class request form. And once you do that here, oh, I'm sorry. I guess I hadn't switched my screen. I was so excited to show you. So you do have the power to request information. Here you come onto your page, click over and hover education, click to class request form, and open up the job form and start to fill it out. Put the name of the class that you would like, and you put in, let's see, next. Whether you want it in person or webinar, next. Your name and license number, next. And you could have even put location if you wanted it at a location, and it will submit. And then you have access, right? To going in and doing what you need to do and requesting the classes that you would like. So that was a little glimpse into Remine and all it can do. It does so much more, but we wanted you to see that you could prospect using it. So let me see what else, what other goodies can I possibly show you? The next item I had to show you was form simplicity. Of course, you can come to your resource panel and you guys have it right here. It's this icon, which is this one here, right? And you come up and what's new or what's happening? I'm going to continue my login. You'll always get a pop-up with important information. Notice that eSign has retired and now they're using SableSign. And we do have videos on SableSign and how to use. So Florida Realtors provides to us Form Simplicity. What is this? This is a transaction management tool. And what's part of the magic that it has? Well, in Florida, they provide us the forms that we use as contracts. And most of you will go to your office and your office will tell you which forms to use, right? And if they use Form Simplicity, you'll come into here. And one of the great things that you have is that underneath the blank forms, you have access to Board Miami Association forms and your Florida forms. They are in alphabetical order. You see the as is. You can search for them by name up here. You can search by title, by last update, right? And you have access to your forms. You can simply click and you automatically can start filling out with information in this gray area. You can print if you need to. Right? You can also come and start annotating. Right? You can save it and start to create a transaction, choose from an existing one, create a new one. Name it the same as the address, save and submit. And here you have your transaction. It now permits you to put a picture or photo for you to see of the transaction. You do have access to adding more forms. If your office or you have created form packages, you can simply come in and add the form packages. right? You have access to adding file and external folder items. This is where you receive the digitally signed items. You can see your digital signature items here. You can collaborate with your colleagues. You would see notes, email history, and of course, the most important part, the history of the transaction. Coming back to home, your most recent transactions will all show here. And let me see if any of these have an e-sign. Yes, I do. I have one here. Well, not e-sign. Here you see the new Sable sign. And what I wanted you to see is that you would see the documents as they were received when they were. And you can click through here and you do have a certificate of authenticity like we had before. And it'll say the signatures, the initials, the date, right? The fields and all of the info as before. And you can print and it does come. It does work very similarly. And there are always updates. And anytime that you see an update or you hear of something, when you pop it up, the notifications will have it. And if you're wondering, they do keep the notifications updated, where you do see here your Sable sign, a transaction checklist that can be created, and other items available to you. Your team here helped out with this one, which was making sure that all of you took out your contacts from eSign and transferred them and managed them. So we're very proud of that, right? So they always put their announcements in here. Now, as far as the blank forms, there are a couple that you need to know that the board does offer you, right? So you do have the input forms available to you here. So if you're completely digital, your input forms are available for you here. So if you're going to do your transaction at your end presentation and you want to start filling out your input form, you can. There are all types of forms available to you, including the Miami tenants screening checklist to help you guys out. We also have a whole bunch of docs for commercial available here as well. We have permission to advertise, more input forms, request for affirmation of presentation of purchase offer, which is something you may want to send with your presentation of offer. There's a tenant screening toolkit here as well, and other items all available and done and created for you by your association here. Okay, so as far as form simplicity goes, we do provide these classes in English and in Spanish, and we do teach you how to use your Sable sign, right, and upgrade if you're interested. So if this is the transaction management tool that your office uses, we have classes available to you. As always, remember that you must personalize, and when you come in, you can do so by clicking on preferences and making sure that your account information is great, that your general settings are set up, and that your email is correct, because this is the email signature that will go with the items that you sent out. You can see your subscription info, and I believe that if you need to upgrade, it's part of one of the top items available. And then some of this is new. Now they synchronize with Bold Trail if you have it, with your Google Drive, Google Contacts, Google Calendar, Dropbox, Ernst Money, Seller Shield, Rentspree, and Rate My Agent. And all you need to do with any of these is simply click in and you do your sign in, and then it'll start to integrate with your form simplicity. Last but not least, I get to talk about Real Satisfied. Real Satisfied is also a part, right, of our favorites, and I have it here as Real Satisfied. But if you can't find it because you start to look, and there's so much out here for you, remember that you do have the way to search up here on the left-hand side, and you can come in and type. And it'll pop up here. And if you click into it, Real Satisfied is a member benefit to you. You can create your account by putting in your last name and email, right? You have a light account available to you, and it is a member benefit. Now, what does it offer you? I always like to share with you that there are product pages for these items, right, that we've discussed. There's one for Form Simplicity, there's one for Remine, and all you ever have to do is put miamirealtors.com/, and the name of the product or service, right? And here what you have is how you can access it and what it does for you. And what it does is it makes it easy for you to be able to share and gather information, right, on the satisfaction, right, and recommendations from your customers. So come on out and create yours, right? They also have some fun Canva templates available to you that you can click here and get. So if you'd like to, you can come in and use these. All right. And these are available to you as well. And it's just a couple of clicks away for you to get some testimonials and get some items out there. Now, I mentioned, and I heard my colleagues mentioned it too, right? A lot of what we have of here is available. Of course, you can request a class, but it is available on YouTube. We do have over 15K subscribers on our channel, and you can come to our channel. We always try to have a great video available. We're always trying to renew our videos, right? And this channel is available to you, and it is always 24/7 with information packed and filled. We do provide our videos in English and in Spanish. If you haven't subscribed, please feel free to do so. It is FREE. And one of the ways to look right for classes is once you come to the channel, you can come to the search and you can type something like Remine, and you'll start to see the videos appear. And here you have a Remine Pro class, Pro here, and the prospecting and farming available. And then you can simply start to watch. I think, Carla, that review from the Real Satisfied, the Canva templates, what it's trying to show you is how you can invite people to engage with you. But here you can put the property photo and the info. So it'll show you what exactly you could do. And that is available from this page here. Let me send it to you again. And with that, folks, I think that we've covered a little bit of everything that we were meant to today. We are trying to have these once a month, and the idea is to give you an overview and review the technology products and services that we have available to you, so you just don't forget. We will be having another one in Spanish this afternoon. We will try to edit and post them, and of course, we will be posting it on the YouTube channel. Thank you so much for being here, for spending time with us this morning. And remember, again, if you needed to review and you wanted to find an Imapp class, you could do so by coming to the channel or requesting the class. And here you have a couple of them. Thank you so much for having joined us and for being members. Anything else, guys, that you want to add?
No, I think you covered it beautifully. Thank you so much for being Miami and Our World members, and we'll see you soon for the next one.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Make sure you guys come in. All right.
See you soon. Thanks. Take care.